Things are getting going.
I want to make sure that everybody got their wrists measured for the handcuffs when the FBI swoops in to take us all away. We all got our wrists measured, right, when we came in?
I've got the audio as high as I've got it boosted 600% with Volume Master.
Started here. Number one is that there are uniformed officers here who I demand that you respect, you're kind to, you're respectful to, and you're obedient to. They're here to keep us safe. We're counting on them to do that, and we know that they will. There's also many members of the media here. And I make the same request. I make the same request of them. You see somebody, the member of the media, be kind and respectful. They may ask you if you'd like to be interviewed. Now, if you're not used to this, I would recommend that you don't, because we've gotten a lot of misrepresentation. They're trying to say that this is a rally in support of the violent people who attacked and killed police officers on January 6th, and that is absolutely not what this is about. And that has been misrepresented continuously.
Tell us what it is.
No. Then what is it?
So we condemn violence, political violence in all of its forms. We don't want any today, and we condemn the political violence that happened on January 6th. Anybody who engaged in that kind of violence or property destruction that day deserves to be tried with a speedy trial and found guilty, locked up for a long time. There's no argument from anybody on our side on this issue. This is about the many people who were there that day who have not been charged with violence, not been accused of assaulting a police officer, destroying property, and disparate treatment they've received. This is about equal treatment under the law. This is about a public investigation into many of the things that happen that have not been investigated publicly or third-party oversight, especially the death of Ashley Babbitt.
Uh-oh. Now that has been investigated.
And this is about transparency, because we have a real issue with transparency in the aftermath of January 6th. Thousands and thousands of hours of videotape denied, not just from us, but from defense attorneys who need it. Mysterious investigations into Capitol Police officers' behavior, ambiguous press releases saying that some were sanctioned for something, but we're not going to say what it is. This is unheard of in police departments across the country, or if it's not, it should be. And it should be same here with the Capitol Police. So we condemn all violence, political violence. I'm demanding that you all are respectful and obedient to police officers today. In fact, I'd like to start off, can we please have a round of applause for the many police officers who are here today? We respect
Wow.
you. We know you have a tough job.
What a guy.
We're not your enemy. God bless you all.
What a guy.
Now, what this protest is not about. It's not about President Trump. It's not about President Biden. It's not about the election. It's not about what you think happened with the election.
It's so weird. It's like the protest is not about anything. He's listed 10 things it's not about.
With a off-message flag, take it down. They were very respectful. They did that. I'm grateful. This is about justice and disparate treatment and equal treatment under the law. And I understand. I'm going to speak to the many people in the audience who look at us and say you're just Insurrection 2.0. I understand. I understand that you hate President Trump and everything about his administration. I get it. I get it. And I'm not here to argue with you about that, okay?
That doesn't mean you have to hate what we're standing for today. It doesn't mean you have to hate our cause and what we're representing. That hatred is blinding you to a grave injustice being perpetrated by our government against many of our fellow citizens.
This is like the Richard Wolff Destiny debate, where they spent the entire time listing what the debate was not about.
Here today doing the exact same thing, and so are our supporters. So we're going to have a prayer to start things off, and what's a very important part of this prayer
Naturally.
is when we're America First we mean it. We start with a prayer, we do the pledge, we have the anthem. Included in this prayer,
Will the anthem be completely abortive?
our lives in the aftermath of January 6th, for the many people who died on January 6th. And that's extremely unfortunate. We regret that. That shouldn't happen. And they are close to our hearts and deep in our prayers. So we're going to open up with a prayer from my good friend Ned. Ned, why don't you come up here?
Do we do the prayer or do we silence it?
Good afternoon. I'd like a moment of silence for the Americans and the police officers that perished on J6. Please bow your heads and give them a couple minutes of silence and ask for God to bless them.
Couple minutes. During this moment of silence that they are holding, a confusing moment of silence, I want to say thank you to Abe Gilbert for signing up on my website. Thanks to Terry Sanders, Robert Peters, Kathy Gavel, and Laura Benevento, putting us at 66. We do have this code, please no riot today. We don't want a riot here. Also, thanks to Cavern Thistle for signing up via Twitch. JoinPakman.com is the place to do it. Welcome, everybody, if you're just joining us. We're monitoring a bunch of different streams, and it is a very, very strange event. So far, mostly discussing what the event is not about.
I pray for the police that are here, that they also return to their families tonight, unharmed and safe. And I pray for these United States, our leaders, our people. Dear God, help us as a nation and a people. Help us to overcome all of the differences that strike between us. Help us to live, to love, and to serve you as your servants, and to come together as one nation.
Is this still the prayer?
Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Help us, dear Lord.
Let's see what Dylan Burns has got going.
Check on that. But the next night, when the Proud Boys were still active, the cops got in there and they got active.
All right. Well, we don't want to miss the main event for now, so we'll keep it here.
Find the grace and the strength. May they find the strength and the goodness and feel your love to overcome their hardships that they're now enduring. And may they have the rights that they are guaranteed under our constitutions. And I pray especially for the men and women of our armed services. May you watch over them, help them and guide them. Hold them and their families in your hands and protect them as they protect us. Bless them and their families for the selfless acts they do in our time of
I've
need.
really got the audio boosted as much as I can.
Whatever God you believe in, amen.
Amen.
Wow.
Amen.
Yeah, and now we're going to have Ned lead us in the pledge. So, thank you.
Oh my God.
Okay. The Pledge of Allegiance.
Hold her up, brother. Hold the flag. Hold the flag. Thank you.
That's your left
Pledge
hand, dude.
allegiance to the flag,
Did you guys see him put his left hand over? That was weird.
the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Is this satire?
Amen. Thank you.
Now, this is a little bit of a different turnout than we had several months ago at the Department of Justice. Who here was at that rally? And I recognize
Police take notice. Who here was there?
the rally we had at the prison. A little bit of a bigger crowd. We actually have one person who was also here, or a couple that were also with us at the United Nations a few weeks ago. Can we hear from y'all? But you see the crowd now. And this is because of persistence. Our message is reaching our fellow American citizens. We already have poll numbers that show essentially half of the public believes that the government is holding political prisoners. That came from Rasmussen. And it's not...
Rasmussen is bogus, and most people probably didn't even understand the question.
In fact, yesterday, I had a wonderful interview, which is, you can see the full live stream, because I don't chop it up, put the full live stream up with my good new friend from MSNBC, Miss Yasmin. And after the interview, a guy who had watched the whole thing, I've never recognized before, came up and started to be rather critical of the line of questioning, saying that it was completely misrepresenting what this rally was about, that they can't paint every person hitting a police officer with a fire extinguisher or violence like that.
What is Miss Yasmin?
The people who walked in a few hours later not knowing what they're doing and are now domestic terrorists. They can't be painted with the same broad brush. And what was interesting to me is he said, look, I'm a liberal Democrat. This isn't about...
Is he referring to Miss Yasmin as she, or was this a camera guy now?
This is about civil rights. And I'm going to bring somebody up to say the pledge who's been persistent and consistent with us. She's been at all of our rallies. Ms. Monk, will you please get up here, I'm sorry, and sing the national anthem for her? She has a beautiful singing voice.
This is going to be interesting. Let's see. Do we think is she going to be really good?
In prison, we also said a prayer for the many others incarcerated who have nothing to do with J6, who've been abused in the prison system, and I'm sure it's endemic everywhere. And this is an issue that should concern every moral human being. And it's something that concerns me, and I know many of or all of our Look Ahead America supporters here. And she is a champion for this cause here in D.C. She wasn't necessarily on her side politically, but she saw the treatment of those people on January 6th in the prison right now, particularly those who have not been charged with violence. And she's been a longtime advocate for the many people held in that prison. Really proud to have her joining forces with us. Mrs. Monk, please sing a beautiful national anthem like I know you can.
Then followed by Kimberly Guilfoyle.
I I just want to first say thank you to Matt, and I don't just mean thank you for that interview or that introduction. I want to say thank you for the work that you are doing on behalf of American citizens who are over in that detention center right now. And I also want to let you know, for everybody thinks that your voice doesn't matter, that you can't do anything. Well, me and a small group of people like Matt have been fighting since April.
Wouldn't it be I and a small group?
To get awareness to not only these inmates for January 6th, but the torment that is going on in our detention center due to the COVID protocols. They are forced vaccinating people. They are coercing people by keeping them in solitary confinement.
This is the woman from the Wendy's hamburgers, right?
We fought. We called Congress. We wrote letters. We went on interviews. And we got four members of Congress to go knock on the door. They were turned away by the fascists who run that prison.
I'd rather her talk about whether American cheese is really cheese.
You can do it too. Never give up your ability and your voice to make a difference. This country is for all of us. It's for all of us Americans on the right and on the left. Everyone
This is the introduction to the national anthem.
who believes that freedom still lives under that flag I'm going to sing about right now.
Hold on, before you do that, remember, I am Brian Moshtar. I am master of the universe, God.
Okay.
I am telling you this. Me and my
Oh my God.
wife are raped and murdered. The quantum is mine. I heard. Do not forget this. Brian Moshtar, my wife. God.
We
Do not forget God.
at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket red glare, the bombs bursting.
Oh my God. God. Okay. I mean, it could have been worse, right?
So now, one of the common features of many of our rallies so far is presentations of hearing from family members who are victims.
Real quick, as we wait for them to get the feedback where we can see it, I can't tell you how thankful I am of all the people signing up on my website. We have this code, Please No Riot. People using it include Timothy Driggers, Ramon Palmquist, Amanda Love, Kathleen Capola Eratostheny, Roy Branford, William Buhner, and Maureen Murphy, putting us at 74. I really appreciate that, as well as everybody signing up via Twitch. I don't know why we are not up at the front. We're going to look for a feed that tells us exactly what's happening at the front. Although none of these feeds... Oh, here we go. What's happening? This Will Johnson feed continues to be cut. Ruptly has the best feed on YouTube. Let's see.
To personally thank Matt for organizing this day today, which take a look around. Do you see an insurrection? Who watched the news this week? Who read the media? Who is terrified to come here? You know, shame on the people in the system that put fear in the hearts of American citizens to stay home and to not come out. Many of whom have called me and messaged messaged me begging and pleading for me to stay home because they fear for my life and my freedom. What kind of America has this become when people are afraid to come out and protest?
The best damn country in the world.
This is a peaceful protest, and before I present some information to you later on, I would like to introduce one of the family members of the detainees in D.C. jail who is right now, as we speak, being held in solitary confinement. Her name is Kelly. She's the girlfriend of Jonathan Mellis. I would like to bring her to the stage. Kelly. And she's going to read a letter. So everybody please welcome Kelly.
Okay.
Thank you for your bravery. Thank you for coming today to stand up for the First Amendment and human rights across the country. I'm here for Jonathan Mellis, but I'm going to read another letter that was written by somebody's mother who actually shares a wall with John.
So she's going to read not her letter, but a letter written by someone else.
Well, John's in solitary confinement, and he has been for no reason. That's a whole story. But last night for dinner, they were served 4 pieces of white bread, a cookie, and a packet of tartar sauce. According to them, that's a nutritious meal, and they violated their own rule book on multiple occasions. So I think America needs to become very well versed in the treatment of these men. It's human rights that we're talking about, and it's completely nonpartisan.
They suddenly seem to care about jail conditions.
Dear Matt Brainerd, I just got off the phone after speaking to my son. He's a January 6th detainee in the Gulag of D.C. Over the months, I have heard of the horrors these U.S. citizens and
As soon as the pro-Trump people are in jail, suddenly they're gulags. Have you guys noticed that?
more indignities forced upon them. He told me he's not allowed to shave or cut his hair. It's been 7 months now with no shave or haircut. As a veteran, he is supposed to be meeting with a veteran representative weekly. He has yet to meet with one. How can our country treat it?
Supposedly the pickles used in the tartar sauce are half sours. They're not even dills.
I am quickly losing all confidence in our great nation. Initially, he was granted bail, redacted, only to have it overruled by a judge in D.C. This judge made a statement that she wants all federal judges to be hard on the insurrectionists. How is this allowed?
The crowd is not super engaged, as you guys can see.
He's lost his job, lost friends, family is in the process of losing his home. He's denied visits from family. His jailers treat these men like scum. There's absolutely no presumption of innocence.
It's funny because I would generally agree with some of the general critiques they're now making of the prison system, but they only now care. Whereas all this other time, it's like, let these people rot.
I would like to see such treatment in the United States. I've watched some of your rallies and wish I could afford to attend. I know that you sometimes read letters by family members. If you should happen to read this letter, please don't reveal his name. I don't want any retaliation to be given to him. Thank you for all of your efforts, and please keep up the good fight. Sincerely, a concerned mother.
Wow. Most people not even clapping.
Next up, I'm going to introduce Jeff Zink. He's the father of one of the political persecuted, one of the political detainees, and I can't imagine what it would feel like to be a parent and have a child in prison right now being held in solitary confinement with no bail, thinking that you brought this kid up in America where there's a constitution and there's due process, and now your son or your daughter is being...
I want to say thanks to Cody Schumacher for signing up on my website. Thanks to Eric Booth, as well as Richard McFarland, all using the code Please No Riot as we continue on here in D.C.
Good afternoon, everybody. How are y'all doing? Good. First and foremost, I want to tell you that I was here on January 6th. I condemned the violence. I condemned the things that took place that were not American, not patriotic. This America is about peaceful protest, and that's what I expect all of us to do as well. So why are we here?
I don't know.
It seems that this place has decided, and the government has decided to start suppressing American citizens, their First Amendment rights. They can't speak out. It's times like this
What's he talking about?
that good men and women need to stand up that are called by God. What happened on January 6th? I can give you a first-hand account. We, the people, came to hear a message. What we came to do is to go and peacefully
Let our voices be heard. As Matt said earlier, this is not about Trump. This is not about Democrat or Republican.
I still don't understand what this is about. It's not about supporting the rioters. It's not about Trump. It's not partisan. It's not violent. It's not like what is this about?
Violent. We must bring light to what is happening to the prison. Chase police officers down the hall.
What the heck?
And then
This is the Ruptly feed everybody wanted, and it's been good, but now they've cut to something else. Let's see what this is.
For the Senate chamber and threaten the members. You're a traitor to democracy. You are the worst of the worst. You believe in a fascist form of government. And you don't? Where if you don't like the Trump, just come down and tear the place down. Threaten to hang elected members of Congress. That's who they are.
This is a counter protester, it sounds like.
What it's about today? It's about changing the narrative. Because they have a loser argument. And the loser argument, hundreds of hours of video and photographs and recordings that they took. They were proud of what they did. Don't forget, they're patriots. They're being hoisted with their own petard, as they said. So now, with no argument, they're left to come down here and try to get us to believe that they're felons, they're traitors, they're domestic terrorists, are a...
Let's see what else we have going on. This is Reuters now.
On the corners that they were not allowed to see. He was not allowed to see his attorney or his family.
Oh, it's this lady again. Oh no.
As many days as 5 without shaving or showering.
I actually think they should stop filming this lady.
Video.
Cool. Thanks. Hey, where are you from? You from? Oh, I appreciate you.
Man, this is really a mess.
Oh, they're going out.
Hey, George. Times like these, when good men and women have got to start standing up. We need to start saying no more.
Everybody back up a little bit. Back up.
God tells us
Have the police created? Are the police kind of encircling someone they want people staying away from? I don't even get what's happening. This is all wacky. This stream keeps cutting, so we're gonna actually cut it. Here's the black conservative preacher still streaming from close to the front. It's all kind of falling apart. Here's Dylan Burns. Looks like he's now been able to get sort of close to the action.
7.
this government wants to keep us silent. They want us out of the way. I will not be one of those that are going to be silent. I'm not going to be afraid.
Well, that's not good.
I will not bow down. My name is Jeff Zink, and it's time for people like you to stand up and start talking for these people. Thank you.
Jeff Zink, woo!
Thank you so much, Jeff. So we had another guest. She was unable to make it. A crazy story. Her name is Nicole Riffett. And
Rippet?
She was flying here, and she was detained at the airport, brought to her hotel room. Her computer was trashed by the FBI, and she was unable to attend.
What?
So I don't know, do the math. I just found that out. It's crazy. She was supposed to be guest speaker. Her computer was trashed by the FBI.
Yeah, it was a conspiracy.
Okay.
Hillary
You
did
can't
it.
make this stuff up, guys.
Jeffrey
The
Epstein.
FBI came to my house twice for peacefully protesting at the Capitol. I was nowhere near the building, and I've been terrorized twice by the FBI, and that's left an indelible mark on my mind, and it makes me want to fight harder for the other people that are being persecuted.
It seems that it's caused her to now have delusions of grandeur, actually.
I'm going to read I'm sorry, read Nicole's letter, that she had to write and send us via text message.
A lot of letters, huh?
Because it's now in possession of the FBI. She said, "My husband, political prisoner, 376782. Guy is named Guy Reffitt. He was arrested for rhetoric and charged with a thought crime. He has been held in solitary for over 48 hours at a time.
He's been charged with a thought crime. What?
Without representation.
Uh-oh. Is Dylan... let's hope Dylan's not over his bandwidth limit.
Or safety. He is deemed an extremist, a domestic terrorist.
Extremist.
Hell, we are all, if you listen to the media, but for what? A political ideology? And even with all that, I consider us blessed. Guy gets to have his day in court. Ashley Babbitt and Roseanne Boyland, who we will talk about later, did not get that chance. Say their names. Ashley Babbitt, Roseanne Boyland. Ashley Babbitt,
What the
Roseanne
hell?
Boyland.
This is a really shit chant.
Let me say a few other names of actual American heroes, people signing up on my website. Thanks to Christian Bear, as well as Janet Dollar, Leah Howard, and Jamie McNee. Everybody who I just named, and we say their names today, just grabbed a membership on my website using the coupon code Please No Riot. I encourage you to do the same. I also want to say thanks to Jay Tandaway for gifting 5 subs and Too Damn Lucky. This puts us at 86, and that's a much stronger number than I've heard presented so far by any of these speakers.
Is doing nothing but tampering with a potential jury pool and perpetrating fear when in reality, the only thing to fear is being complacent.
See, if you're not charged with
But they, the mainstream media, the corrupt politicians,
Is this Dylan's real-time commentary on top of it?
our own nation's capital to exercise a First Amendment right that was promised by our forefathers and criminalized by the current administration. But we, the people, will not be afraid. Whether it is 1776 or 1621, we are people. We, the people, are the guardians of our own sovereignty, not the government. Not the mainstream
This guy does not like the volume.
But we, the people.
This guy's
We,
not
the
having a
people,
fun
have
time.
been lied to about leaving our fellow Americans in Afghanistan. We have been lied to about our national security, our border, and even our health. And that they're lying about our patriots rotting in D.C. jail without due process. We are being used as examples.
I'm told that the News 2 stream feed is back or something like that. Justice for J6. Let's see if we can find that, because that was a good stream before they got cut off. We'll filter by live. Where is it? I'm not actually seeing it. I mean, we have quite a few feeds already. Oh, News to Share. They are back. Let's see. We'll see what's going on. In the meantime,
Guy came to D.C. for a redress of his grievances like hundreds of thousands of others that day, which is the right of all Americans. But the simple truth is that it's only your right if your ideology falls in line with that of the status quo. That is not what our forefathers and others have given up their all for. Okay? We the people will not be intimidated. We will not retreat. We the people will not leave our patriots to waste away in jail without a voice, without liberty. Give it up for the letter from Nicole Prophet, who unfortunately...
next they'll be reading some letters from Ernest Hemingway written during his time in Cuba.
Because her computer was taken by the FBI and she's now on a no-fly list for coming to D.C. to peacefully protest and to speak on behalf of her loved one who is in D.C. prison. Let them go! Let them go! Let them go! Let them go! Okay, guys, so I'm going to dedicate this speech. I'm going to try to make my speech fast. I had a lot of stuff to say, but you know what? Go to
Hold on a second. She hasn't started her speech yet?
US or www.thepeoplesjanuary6commission.com if you want to find out some truth that I've been investigating. I now consider myself an investigative journalist, and I'm asking you in the mainstream media to listen to what I'm saying, because stuff that the government has told you that you have been reporting, and I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt that you didn't know, has been inaccurate. As we all know, there was one death that day, a homicide that day, and that was Ashley Babbitt. But there was another woman that day that the media said died of a methamphetamine.
Methamphetamine. This is an interesting super chat. This is white privilege on steroids. The redhead singing the national anthem was interviewed by Jordan Klepper. That's interesting.
I have uncovered video, and like I said, go to my website.
Did she say a Corvid video or a carpet video?
Show you the video. I'll give you the link to the video of Roseanne Boylan being beaten severely as she lay unconscious on Capitol steps by a Metro DC police officer who I have identified, and I know her name, and if you want to go on my website, you can find that out. Okay, so Roseanne Boylan's...
Next up, the bald guy is going to tase himself just to show how patriotic he is.
There is video of police brutality. I back the blue. I support the police. But when a police officer does wrong, that police officer needs to be held accountable. And amen. And all the other police that are here today need to agree with me on that an investigation needs to be held.
It's interesting because the opening was, this is not about defending the rioters, but like every letter and every speech is just defending the rioters.
The 4 deaths that day that they say were natural causes, and we have reason to believe to ask for an investigation that perhaps they were not. Again, go on my website and see video on that. I have one last message, and I'm going to direct this to Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi, who made a statement to the mainstream media that people should not come to this rally today and support killers. To Nancy Pelosi, I hope you are watching, or that someone sends you this video. I want to address you directly. We're both women, we're both U.S. citizens, and we both have the same...
How does she know that?
It's protected under the same Constitution. How dare you tell me or other Americans that love their country not to attend a peaceful protest to advocate against the abuses being perpetrated on U.S. citizens for the events of January 6th. I take personal offense, and so does everybody here.
I'm not going to lie, guys. I don't even know what this lady's talking about.
Perpetrated on U.S. citizens for the events of January 6th.
Good photo.
I take personal offense, and so does everybody here. You have attacked the...
All right, let's see if we can get back to actually hearing her talk.
We're both women, we're both U.S. citizens, and we both
This
have
one's
the
on a
same
delay.
unalienable rights protected under the same Constitution. How dare you tell me or other Americans that love their country not to attend a peaceful protest to advocate against the abuses being perpetrated on U.S. citizens for the events of January 6th. I take personal offense, and so does everybody here.
Okay.
You have attacked a rally that I'm co-hosting. You are directly responsible for stripping away the constitutional rights of millions of American citizens that do care and want to stand up and attend this rally, but you fear-mongered them into not coming. How could you be so heartless to desecrate our First Amendment constitutionally protected right to peacefully assemble?
People asking who this is, I have no idea. She's been going for a while, reading various letters and correspondence from different people.
You have abused your platform to contaminate the jury pool by calling the January 6th detainees killers. And
Uh-oh. All right, so that feed's in trouble.
People, please stop dividing and distracting us. We have more in common than we have different. According to you, we should be enemies. My website is and my name is Kara Kashner. Please follow me on social media so that you
And so that's Kara Keshner, is that what she said?
we're natural causes, so you can find out the name of the police officer.
Okay, now this feed's got it.
all the information on all the 4 deaths that they said were natural causes, so you can find out the name of the police officer who beat Roseanne Boylan as she lay on the Capitol steps unconscious. We have the video, and there's other video under court order that cannot be released to the public that people have seen, where it clearly shows that a DC Metro police officer beating her senseless. And there's patriots being charged in prison right now for trying to help her and trying to get the police officers off of her. That is why they're being held right now in DC prison. The website.
And God help the waiter that brings her overcooked veal parmesan.
You www.thepeoplesjanuary6th.us or www.thepeoplesjanuary6thcommission.com. My name is Kara Keshnov. If you want to see the video, please talk to me after the rally. I have no problem showing it to you. Thank you, Matt Braynard. This is a peaceful, amazing event, just like he said it would be on the news. A lot of times you guys refuse to report on. Peaceful protest, everybody. Not insurrection part 2, sorry. Thank you so much, Matt, for all you do.
By saying this is not the second insurrection, they are conceding that the January 6th one was an insurrection.
Tough act to follow. And I thank God every day that we found each other and that she has the courage to stand up and do what she did. She did it all on her own. She just woke up one day and saw an injustice and acted. And any one of you can do the same.
This is definitely a
I want
cringe
to make a little
stream.
reminder. We've got a wonderful security force. The Capitol Police and the other police forces who come far and wide to make sure this is a safe event are doing a fantastic job. Let's have another round of applause.
Keep clapping for the cops, yeah.
I know it's hot out here. I know this is the last thing they want to be doing today, but they're doing their duty. We're proud of them and we're grateful. But I want you to also know that you have a role in the security here too. If you see any funny business, anything suspicious, all of you have a television studio right on your pocket. Take it out, record it, and if somebody's causing trouble, they're going to have a bad time. We're going to make them famous, okay? So I appreciate your cooperation in that.
Is this guy a feta male, like feta cheese? I want to say thank you to Kathy Marsh for signing up on my website. H. Thomas is a new member. Luis Chavez has signed up, and Efrain Perez as well. I can't thank everybody enough for supporting today's stream. We do have this coupon code, We Want No Riot, so the code is Please No Riot. You can use it on my website, joinpakman.com. The discount is ungodly. I'm not even going to say how big it is because this guy will come after me. But I do appreciate everybody who's been using it.
Political leadership has advised them not to participate in our rallies today. Now, I read the Constitution. I think maybe you read the same Constitution I did. My understanding is
I don't know. A lot of these people are confused about what's in it. I'm wondering if they've read a different one.
in congressional districts, that they're supposed to work for us and represent us. That we're their bosses, right? Who is their boss? And I think that some of them have forgotten that. Some of them seem to be more afraid of the political leadership up there than they are of their constituencies. And I mean that in an entirely peaceful way. But you guys, when you go back to your states...
I've got the volume as high as it goes, guys.
...rallies we have coming up in the next couple of weeks.
We're here to talk to them. Now, we do have...
Okay, they've cut away again, so now we'll try to find another feed.
Hey, can we come and speak to the crowd? So first, I'd like to introduce a brave patriot. He's an entrepreneur, a businessman. He started a trucking company down...
Okay. See if we can refresh this one. This was actually a good feed while it was going.
.us or
Oof, they're like 20 minutes behind, so that's not going to work. This one's over. Let's see the Dylan Burns feed.
They say they have to ask. So first, I want to introduce Georgia. Mike, please come up here.
Oh my God!
What?
Thank you. Now, before I start, I've got a couple things I want to make perfectly clear, okay?
I got no beef with no president.
Political violence in
I'm
any
a
form,
real patriot.
especially the violence that was perpetrated on January
This is quite a contrast.
They commit violence here today. Those
God
who
chose
committed
him.
violent
God
acts
chose him.
should be tried in a court.
Okay, God
tried in
bless
a court of law,
America.
and if convicted,
Okay, so give me
punished.
Okay. Let's get away from that. I mean, that just seems not good. I don't even know.
They reached out to me and said, hey, can we come and speak to the crowd? So first, I'd like to introduce a brave patriot. He's an entrepreneur, a businessman. He started a trucking company down in Georgia. He's very brave to be here today because I know that his text messages and emails and voicemails all full of people telling him not to come. It's a false flag because somebody who only exists on the internet told him it was. But they didn't listen. Instead, they recognized the problem and they decided they have to ask. So first,
Wow, I'm curious who this guy is.
Collins from Georgia. Mike, please come up here.
Thank you. Now, before I start, I've got a couple things that I want to
He
make.
has some letters to read.
I strongly condemn political violence in any form,
Oh, God.
especially the violence that was perpetrated on January the 6th, or anybody who may commit violence here today. Those who committed violent acts should be tried.
What a mess. Yeah, that's the problem with that feed. It keeps going out. And a lot of these feeds are just kind of not at the main stage. Let's listen here. Okay, not a lot happening there.
Not to use them or law enforcement to advance an agenda.
This is all pretty weird.
That debate.
I don't want to pretend to know
Okay.
who's innocent and who's guilty.
When people say Fox has the feed, is that the Fox News YouTube channel? I would look for that. Let's see.
Mic sound. Chat, is it good?
Is it good, chat? Can you hear me, chat?
You can hear me now, chat, right?
Not seeing a live feed.
Yeah, Dylan Burns. Hey, hold the thing. You love my stuff? Stream, yeah. Hey, can I ask you a few questions? Yeah, sure. Sure. So why'd you come here?
Just to see what's up. I mean, I haven't really ever been to one before, and I just wanted to see what's up and take pictures of all the dogs. I got all the dogs, so.
You like the dogs? You here for the dogs?
The dogs at the protest, you know?
Dog of the protest.
Yeah.
So 2 types of bitches.
Oh, okay. This one's got a feed. Here we go.
It's just not true. What we do have, we have political prisoners here. And the media, well, they're the biggest ally for the left. They want you to believe that, well, this is just another conspiracy theory. But the facts, I'm going to tell you what, the facts are clear. We've got non-violent misdemeanor offenders that are currently being held with no bond, no access to lawyers. And
It's funny how suddenly they're concerned about overuse of pretrial detention.
see trial until next year. I tell you what, you won't find an example of that from Minneapolis or from when this nation's capital was on fire the summer of 2020. I tell you what, the American people are not stupid. We can see it with our own eyes, the difference in the treatment from our federal government because of someone's political beliefs. And that's regardless of how the news media tries to spin it or what they tell you. Y'all, I'm Mike Collins.
Real King of the Hill energy.
And I urge, no, I demand that the federal government begin trying those accused, the J6 political prisoners, being detained immediately, especially those being held for nonviolent crimes. Thank you.
Wow, that was abruptly ended.
Quite a speech. Let's have another round from Mike.
Keep clapping for people. This is people asking for the Reuters feed. This is the Reuters feed. It's not great. The feeds are going in and out from being good to being not so good. So we'll do what we can.
Camera, I had someone share with me that the reason the riot police moved into position as I was walking up here.
Okay, so that's terrible. Let's now switch here.
I couldn't help but have a deep felt respect. This is a man who served our country for 20 years overseas on 11 combat deployments in the Special Forces. And he made the ultimate sacrifice, I think.
That guy's being arrested, it looks like. He's at least getting a talking to. Providing ID. Sir, am I being detained? Looks like we may have an arrest happening here. What's this guy doing? What's he? Anybody know what he's holding above his head? Okay.
Had in common with those I went to war with was that we are all Americans. Our political leaders, they didn't think twice about sending us off on useless, endless wars that were of no gain. But all of us joined, all of us fought,
Many of us died. Many of us still carry the scars from war for one reason. We believe in this country. We believe in that flag. We believe in everything that it stands for. And when there is an injustice done to any of our brothers and sisters, our fellow citizens, when their constitutional rights are taken, if we do not speak out against that, we are guilty of standing by and watching those rights erode. Make no mistake, what governments...
It's like really still not clear what the point of this is. Are they saying that the people that are being held for rioting on the 6th are being held unfairly, that the prison system's a problem, the legal, like these aren't things they cared about before, but they're defending the sort of strange people to defend. I'd be going after, you know, if this was your issue, I'd be talking about like the nonviolent drug offenders, for example.
Did not happen here in America, but that is running off the rails right now because too many Americans just think that it's not their business. I'm not part of that political party, so I'll let those guys get detained and have their due process denied. That's not the way this works.
Yeah, this rally is a violation of HIPAA and a violation of critical race theory.
Call your elected officials, call your representatives, show up at every single rally that Look Ahead America is having for these political prisoners. Be their voice, because it's not even just about them. It's about our forefathers who gave us these rights, who fought the revolution. It's about every single veteran who's ever deployed overseas, who's ever been killed. It's for everyone in Arlington National Cemetery. And it's for all these law enforcement officers, too. The law enforcement officers are on the front lines every single day defending...
I'll check Matt Brainerd's stream in a second. It seems as though so far we're missing any references to hydroxychloroquine, ivermectin. Let's see, Matt Brainerd. Let's see. He seems to be here. We'll check out his stream.
All of them that are here today, I'm extremely grateful for all of them that were present on January 6th. They are not our enemies. Our enemies are those that will deny people of their constitutional rights and then take a narrative that labels all of us as terrorists or insurrectionists for just questioning.
Uh-oh. I'm being told DC police are clamping down and arresting everybody who used the code Please No Riot. Everybody who's been using the code apparently is getting pulled into a paddy wagon. Rhonda Larity has been arrested. Diana Lee has been pulled in. Thomas Levanway. Don Mass. Kelly Danzig. Mary DeAngelis. Sharon Mayer. Michelle Restucci. Laura Castro. Karen Ranftel. And Gio Williams. People are getting pulled in for using the code, which I encourage you to use, by the way, at joinpakman.com. In all seriousness, Please No Riot. It's a great code. Lawyer up. Lawyer up.
Hey, Robert, you ready to start rolling pictures and stuff?
Uh-oh.
Okay. So I want to show you guys...
People are being unfairly held without bail for using my coupon code.
Just give us A. Let's see A on the screen. Now, I don't know if you guys can see that quite from the sunlight. It looks like the picture's a little cropped. But that's Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Uh-oh.
Leading... No, do not boo her. No. We're not booing people today, okay? We're not booing people. But that is her insurrection, right?
Today they're not booing people.
Interfering with government business, trespassing, parading. Let's see the next picture. B, let's go to B, Robert.
The screen's lower than like people who are 6 feet tall. It's weird screen placement.
This man has not been accused of destruction of property. He has been accused of dressing horribly, I think. It's a matter of opinion. But what he did that day, and if anybody did anything similar, does not deserve 9 months in solitary confinement. Without conviction. No conviction. 9 months in prison. Denied bail. Denied medical care. He is suffering. In fact, his mother was going to come speak to us today, but she was intimidated out of her First Amendment rights, out of fear, out of all the fear-mongering surrounding this. So, all of you are out here for her because she could not be out here. Let's go to the next, let's go to C, because this is kind of the point.
Whoa.
Let's go to C.
I guess we're building to the point of the rally soon.
I'm sorry, let's go to B2, Robert. Let's go to B2.
Now, I put that up there because I showed you one picture, I showed you the second picture, and the truth is it's the same picture. It's people exercising their First Amendment rights in the wrong way. And I admit it's stupid, and I admit there should be a penalty to it. I support it. The thing is that historically, at the Kavanaugh hearings, where people were arrested over and over again for storming the Senate office,
Kavanaugh?
stormed the hearings. They were arrested, bailed out, went back and did the same thing that day, over and over again. It's the same picture. Now, Robert, let's see C.
It's the office.
I know, because it's a meme.
What the hell?
Joke. Forgive me if that one went over anybody's head. A and B, AOC, and our shaman friend. It's the same picture. They're doing the same thing, engaging the same behavior, but very different outcome. Why? Not because of what they did, but because of what they believe. That is unconstitutional, that is immoral, and that's what makes them political prisoners. So let's go to image C, please. Now, whenever I've been interviewed lately, the media always likes to run this footage next to me of the most violent moments of the rallies, of the protests on January 6th, even though I expressly say anybody engaged in violence belongs in prison.
He's about to put up my coupon code and call it illegal.
Violence activity, assault, or destruction of property. They always run the B-roll next to me because that's how disingenuous they are. That's just how they operate, right? Can't do anything about it, really. But that's pretty much, those are the people we're talking about. These are folks who are assembled in statuary tall, being peaceful. Now, Robert, let's see image D, please. So those are people illegally assembled in that building, being rounded up by police officers with zip ties. They were all released that day and fined between $35 and $50. Now, the message I'm trying to send here is that this disparate treatment that I seem to have to explain to every reporter like 6 or 7 times, they don't seem to get it. So maybe some pictures will help them, because I know that everybody that showed up here on behalf of LAA, you all understand this. This is real.
Yeah, if people want mercy bans, the moderators can start handing them out if people need it.
Again, this image is from a hearing room, interfering with government business. This is the same thing that the political prisoners have been charged with. If they've had the FBI break into their house, it's not the individual agent's fault, really. It's their orders and the political leadership back behind me and at the Department of Justice. But those people are having their doors kicked in and being rounded up in the middle of the night and dragged to Washington, D.C., denied bail, have their lives destroyed, losing their homes, losing their jobs, some cases losing their marriages because of the stress of it all. These people did exactly the same thing, released that day. No one called it insurrection. Media barely reported on it, and when they did report on it, it was favorably.
So he's droning on. Let's see what Dylan Burns is up to.
Under Trump's presidency. They were a few very small, slightly targeted ones, and they were very specific and targeted, unlike the one Biden did, where they killed a bunch of aid workers and children.
Wasn't like Trump's first foreign attack killed an American girl?
Uh-oh, man, Dylan's having trouble keeping the stream up smoothly.
Not that I recall. I know
it was in Yemen.
Oh,
There's Americans with the Taliban in Afghanistan too, I'm sure. Just like there was, that British girl who went off to be a Taliban bride. It's like, gee, I mean.
You mean the nicest bride?
Yeah, well, whatever. But yeah, I mean, there are people that are going to make those choices.
So if it's totally plausible that Americans are working with foreign enemies,
I'd love to hear this, but we keep it seems like there's a problem. Let's see if we can set the quality really low and see if it'll stay up.
Chinese plant here.
2009, where we had 2 million people, a sea of humanity from one end to the other of this place. I was here several times a year later. I was down here surrounding the Capitol when they rammed Obamacare through. I've been down here.
They rammed it through over a year and a half.
Dozens of things over the last 12 years, and I think my activities of the last 12 years speak for themselves.
Sounds like a great way for China to start attacking the integrity of the American people.
Well, again, I've never advocated for anything but the support and defense of the Constitution. And unfortunately, our Constitution has been thrown away. As long as these guys are held without bail and without charge, America doesn't exist.
2 months ago,
the Constitution is not being upheld, supported, or defended by our government.
They were arrested and released that day.
So then where are we if America doesn't exist?
We're about 2 years from China taking over once the dollar collapses.
We're 2 years from China taking over, so you think that Biden's going to deliver us to China?
Well, look what he's done to our military so far. He's demoralized them, and now by forcing the mark of the beast on them, it's like how many of them are going to quit instead?
Oof. Yeah, this guy's delusional.
This genetic mutation stabs that don't prevent.
Oh my God.
Well, they didn't. None of those things meet the definition of a vaccine. Vaccine has a definition. These are mRNA therapies.
This guy knows so much. He knows about geopolitics. He knows about religion. He knows about vaccines.
When you need to join the military, you need to get like 1 million vaccines, like most military members.
Well, those are for known diseases and stuff that they did. And again,
COVID a known disease.
Well, it's that they haven't done any of the proper research on any of it. This is a disease that came out of a Chinese bioweapons facility. It's been proven to be 99.97% survivable, just like the flu is.
That's a lie.
That still means almost 700,000 Americans dead, though.
No, I would say 80% of those people.
We all get vaccinated for the flu, and unless people die of the flu every year, they go.
Yeah, if you're like 70 to 90, I would say you're at risk. But it's like, but right now, 7 times more teenage males have been hospitalized with cardiac complications from these genetic mutation shots that have been hospitalized with
That's
COVID.
a lie too.
Yeah.
So how safe is that?
I don't know, man. You're convincing me.
Okay, we're going to get away from that. Let's look now at the video they're playing at the main screen.
A little older, I remember there was an allegation of religious text being flushed down a toilet in Guantanamo Bay. Yes. Now, that was a story for weeks, and it was covered despite the fact that the media knew that it would result in violent reaction in Iraq and elsewhere against our troops and get our troops killed. They knew that, but they still put it out there. God bless them. Now, I just wish they would have the same fortitude when it comes to demanding the release of these 14,000 hours of videotape. It seems like the kind of thing the media would be curious about. Release the tapes! It seems like they should be our allies. I mean, most FOIA requests are filed by journalists.
This entire release the tapes thing is now something they repeat without even really knowing like what they're talking about. And if the quote tapes were quote released, they wouldn't even know what to do with them or what to look for in the tapes. Like it's just, you know, they don't even know what they're talking about.
I want to get everybody out here safely, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But I want to applaud you for a moment because it took real courage to come out here today.
All right, let's see if we can get a slightly wider shot of what's happening.
Now, I just wish they would have the same fortitude when it comes to
This one's very delayed.
come out here today. You have my respect, and I also am eternally grateful to each of you for trusting me. Because I was the one that told you to come out here. I was the one that told you get here safely. It wasn't a false flag. And so many voices on the left called you killers and slandered you. And so many of the, I call them armchair patriots on the right, said this is a false flag attack and that you shouldn't come. And my inbox is full. I constantly hear from people, you should call it off. Don't do it. But you stood up, you withstood that. And look, this is about a very important cause, but it's also broadly about something much more important because
what?
The political leadership in this country, it's a dirty secret, okay? When you're upset about a political problem and you're angry, they actually want you to do what happened on January 6th. They want violence from us.
Who's he talking about? I've been saying, I mean, look, my code is please no riot. We've been saying I hope there is no violence for 2 months now.
The law, they can deal with you very easily, as you've seen. They send the FBI after you go into the gulag. Especially if you're guilty, you deserve it.
The gulag.
But that's what they want, because it's easy to deal with the political opposition that's violent. But what's the lesson that we've learned from people like Gandhi, or Martin Luther King, or the civil rights movement in this country? I'll tell you what terrifies them. This is what terrifies them.
Uh-oh.
A peaceful assembly of the America First right. We're operating within the law. We respect the Constitution. We love the First Amendment.
Is this the guy from that video game Hitman?
We have a very difficult job. When we show up at school board meetings and use our First Amendment rights, when we educate our state legislators, when we come to Washington and demand justice peacefully, orderly, this is what terrifies them. That's right. This is why they didn't want you to come. But we're not going to be stopped. organizing.
It's not clear they're doing anything. It's funny to be like, they won't stop us. What are you doing? You haven't even explained what you're doing.
And I know that many here, many watching are upset about the election. I understand it. I'm upset too. But the reaction that we saw on January 6th, it was stupid, it was wrong. And what I'm asking you, anger is dangerous. Anger gets turned inward, it's self-destructive. And it spills out and becomes destructive in the world. What I'm asking you to do is to take your anger and channel it into something productive. And to channel it into working as a volunteer with Look Ahead America or Citizens Against Political Persecution. Work within the law, work peacefully. Do not give up on our Constitution. Do not give up on our country. Do not give up on voting. Do not give up on petitioning our governments. Give it to Look Ahead America. Help us make this a better country. Help us save this country. Help us fix our election system. Help us get justice. Help us get our schools to respect our history and our founders. Sign up with us. Volunteer with us.
Is he actually winding down?
Put you to work, and it will be difficult. Difficult to stand outside a Costco for 30 minutes or for 3 hours in the hot sun to register new voters. That's difficult, especially when they constantly kick us out. And if anybody knows the CEO of Costco, I'd like to chat with him because we're doing God's work. They should be nice to us. Those are our people at Costco. It's hard to register voters. It's hard to write letters. It's hard to come out on a day. It's easy to sit behind a computer and type and spread disinformation and fear. That's easy. Coming out here is hard, and you will forever have my respect for coming out here today. You will forever have my gratitude. And if you ever happen to catch me out in the civilian world, tap me on the shoulder, I owe you a beer.
The civilian world.
Not today, though. Not over once, please. My wife will kill me. So look, may God bless you. And before we go again, I can't emphasize this enough because these guys are trying to portray us as standing up for killers and people who assaulted police officers. We hate that.
Well, that's what you're doing.
Anybody who's ever done anything like that does not belong in this movement. It's condemned by Look Ahead America. We condemn it, we condemn it, we condemn it. But this is about disparate treatment of the nonviolent people. This is about the lack of transparency. This is about the great cause that Kara said indicated that there may have been additional victims that day, and we need transparency. We need that video. Release the video. Let's get a cheer going. Maybe the journalists will join in with this, because this is First Amendment stuff, right? Come on, journalists. Release
Get ready for cringe.
the video. Release the video. Release the video. Release the video. It's a First Amendment thing, folks. Don't worry. Yasmin, if you start cheering with us, I'm going to tell your boss we won't get you fired for cheering with us.
Yeah.
So,
What do we
I wanna
do?
bring things to a
That's the
close.
chant. What do we demand? We don't know. When do we want it? Now.
Guys that are out here today, they're doing their best to do their job. They're ordered here by political leadership who, I appreciate everyone keeping us safe today. I'm a little bit of overkill, but look, I respect it. Hey, I'm in the business of community organizing, okay? That's
The guy says the presence of the police isn't necessary, but he brought in like 10 people to protect him.
But setting up and keeping us all safe, that's not my area of expertise. I really respect the people who came out. The Capitol Police have done a wonderful job communicating with us, letting us know. I want to thank, I actually would like to thank the individual officers by name, but that will only get them in trouble. So they know who they are, the ones who've been talking to, Ms. Kim, you've been working with. You have our eternal gratitude and respect. So let's have a round for all the police officers out here today, from Virginia, from Maryland, I think they flew in a SWAT team from Puerto Rico. They were so worried about us. And I want to give us some exit instructions, okay?
Uh-oh.
So D.C. is historically a pretty dangerous city. What I'm asking you to do is, I want you to leave. We're going to play exit music, and my good new friend Robert knows we're going to play on exit.
Oh boy.
On your way out, give a smile and a wave to any cop you see, okay? Just give them a smile, wave, tell them we appreciate their service. Any journalists, just smile, but keep on walking. But stay in groups, at least until you get out of the District of Columbia, because believe it or not, unlike other rallies, I take your safety
personally. It's my personal responsibility, and I'm going to be the last one to
guy's
leave here
delusional.
along with my security team. So the sooner you get out of here, the sooner I can get out of here. And we're going to do this again someday, and we're going to keep fighting.
Hopefully not soon.
Battle doesn't end today. In fact, I think this is the beginning. This is the beginning of the America First right taking over community organizing in this country. I'm so proud of you I could cry. I'm so proud of you all.
There's like no one there. They've accomplished nothing, and they've not even outlined what they want.
So, God bless you all. Leave in large groups. If you see somebody walking out alone, say, hey, why don't you come with us? Lisa's here out of the District of Columbia, and I want you to stay safe. And look, again, you had to ignore a lot of people that told you not to come today. You heard it from everywhere. But I want you to go back out there and tell them that we're not giving up on this. We're not giving up on protest culture. We're not giving up on petitioning our government. We're not giving up on the First Amendment. And we're not going to be tempted by the dark voices saying that apathy and even violence are the only answers. We reject that. And you go back home and you told them you came today.
Delusions and conspiracy theories seem to be another answer.
Anybody that told you that this was a false flag attack or a trap or anything like that, remember their names and never trust them again. God bless you all. America first, America forever.
Wow.
Now go home, please. Thank you.
That escalated quickly. So now is the point at which if it's going to get violent, it will, and we're going to monitor it. I do want to continue thanking people signing up on my website. Thanks to David Hill, Diana Lee, and Santu Nikkanen, all of whom just signed up on my website using the coupon code Please No Riot. We're hoping for no riot. Also over on Twitch, Tough Guy Ted, as well as Tylen, Fino, a WebTX, Lord Neckbeard, the Gaming Dad, have all signed up. Very much appreciate that. This event is now, who knows what the direction is going to be of this event. You can sign up at joinpakman.com, of course, and that coupon code, it will be done today. Please no riot. Let's listen.
Permanently black security force.
Oh, this is Lauren Windsor, I think.
Dumb question.
She just asked, why are the security people mostly black?
Nope. I have no response to that.
What do you expect from that? Is it predominantly
Additional support.
Everybody that's traveling today.
Okay, these questions, if I answer during the speech, just clip the speech.
Is Mr. Trump aware about today event?
I have no idea.
Are you just supporting?
Oh, this I have to hear in the audio just cut. These questions, this is great. But the audio seems to have been cut. Let's see if anyone else is covering the questions. No. Oh, why did the audio go away? That is really sad. This is his YouTube channel, and the questions are so triggering. His own YouTube channel has cut the audio. I wish one of these other channels was covering this. This is too far to hear. This isn't anywhere close. Here's Dylan Burns. Man, that's really too bad. I would have loved to have heard those questions because they seemed he seemed extremely triggered by them. Wow. That's really too bad. I'm almost positive that was Lauren Windsor from The Undercurrent asking why are the security people mostly black today? Is Lauren Windsor streaming live? Let's see. Lauren Windsor live. Let's see here. The Undercurrent. Let's see. Yeah, she's not live. That's too bad. Yeah, they've cut the feed.
Yeah, didn't he?
Hunter's rich. He does coke, not crack.
Yes.
I mean,
and also I'd be planning the downfall of America, right?
I don't know about that. Did they find that on the secret laptop?
I think they found that on a secret laptop.
Oh, that's cool, dude.
Anyway, you from chat?
What's chat?
You're from chat, like the stream chat?
Like I have a chat. I have a group chat with my mom in it.
Okay, man. Do you know me from somewhere?
Know who? You? Are you famous?
Wait, so how do you know I got wrecked in that debate earlier?
You got just totally destroyed in that debate. That's all I know, though.
Are you like in my walls watching me at night? Like, how do you know how do you...
This is weird.
Around.
Oh, he was hovering around. Yeah. Oh, I thought you were in
wanted
chat.
to talk to him too.
Oh my God, I thought you were from chat. I was confused. I thought you were about to stab me. Oh my God.
Yeah.
My God. What did you think of that guy?
Oh, I thought he was totally based.
He was very based and very red-pilled.
I don't know what the flags mean, but yeah.
Ooh, I can't think of anything cringier than that conversation right there.
We pay income tax. Some of us up to 40%. You know, that's not right. That's criminal as it is. That's unconstitutional. And if the lawmakers don't get it together, we're going to do it again. Nice talking to you.
Thank you so much. Have
Bye-bye.
a good afternoon. Thank you.
What the
All
hell?
right. Well, that was some opinions. I don't know what this one says. How far off is Trump for reveal?
They misspelled Reichstag. A lot of misspelled signs, huh? Wow. Looks like things are just winding down.
It actually looks like there's...
Oh God, don't tell me it got cut again. That's really too bad. I really wish this feed had the audio, but the Matt Brainerd people have cut it. That's too bad. Oh wait, NTD. Let's see if we can get NTD live. They're about to interview him. NTD live. Doesn't seem like they're actually live though. Nope, that's too bad. Very, very strange.
24/7.
This is the counter protest, I guess. Let's listen
I don't know
here.
if people can hear you though. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear him. Yeah. So this is the side of the Capitol where everything was set up for the inauguration, correct? Or is that the other side?
Yeah, that wasn't an inauguration.
No, but before the inauguration, they had scaffolding.
Okay.
There's no accountability.
They're not black flavors.
Oh, now Dylan Burns seems to be talking to black conservative preacher.
Slavery was worldwide. It was everywhere.
You're black doesn't mean anything.
That's another good point. Slavery was a worldwide mediocrity, okay? It was normal back then. Obviously, it's not okay, but to bring that up 200 years later and say this is a reason for people to fight against each other, it makes no sense. It's over. We're all... No, I'm not saying... I'm agreeing with you.
What part of Africa are you a descendant of?
Ethiopia.
And which part of Ethiopia?
Mekelle, Ethiopia.
So in Mekelle, the Tigrayans, they're in a big civil war. What's your position on that?
I don't really... I'm in
going on in Tigray. I mean, you've been adopted. Your family were what, missionaries?
Okay, here's the thing. I'm an African immigrant, but I assimilated. My allegiance is to America, and only America. What happens there is...
It looks like the audio's back here. He's telling everybody to go home. Security guy checking his watch.
There's hope. There's hope. There's hope somewhere. There's hope.
I bet you'd say that.
This has really strange energy to me. I don't know. It's everything about it's weird. All right, Matt Brainerd now on the move.
You got your detail. You can get out of here whenever you want. All right. Obviously, that gets you like. I know a lot of folks want a picture. Yeah, I know a lot of folks want a picture. Yeah.
It's funny. A good job doing what? Like, it's not even clear what the whole point of this was. Great job.
Next week, I think. I could be mistaken if we don't. Just stay in touch. I'll help you out.
I want to say thanks to Darren Gross, who just signed up on my website with the coupon code Please No Riot. Please No Riot. Appreciate that very much. Thanks to everybody, in fact, who's been supporting today's stream.
Oh, those you? Yeah.
That's Medea Benjamin. She's been on my show before.
So, my partner who's here somewhere, some people, we talked somewhere.
Oh my God.
Some people just held a sign, got the $50 posted forfeit.
Can we take a picture?
Yeah, that's Medea Benjamin. She's from Code Pink. This is crazy. Why does she? Yeah, I don't know why she wants a picture with him. It's all weird. All of this is completely incoherent. Like, I don't even get what is happening here.
I will build a great wall on our southern border, and I will have Mexico pay.
Okay. This stream's done. This stream's done. The streams are slowly all winding down. All right, guys, I don't think my ears can take too much more of it. So I think that this is basically going to be the end of the stream.